Welcome back to the Three Muckrakers podcast. It's time for us to chat a little bit about what's been going on here in the UK and Wales. And wow, UKIP has messed up again, Dario. Here we go.
Well, in the words of Oscar Wilde, to lose one parliamentary candidate is unlucky. To lose two is a mistake. But to lose three, we must be talking about UKIP. In the constituency of South Basildon and East Thurrock has lost Natasha Bolter to sexual harassment claims, has lost Neil Hamilton to dodgy expenses and being Neil Hamilton. And now Kerry Smith has made homophobic and racist remarks, amazingly enough, for UKIP.
Wow, somebody from UKIP made racist and homophobic remarks. I mean, that's just shocking.
You'd never warrant it, would you? I mean, Smith, you know, he did have an excuse. He claimed he was on painkillers, and that was the reason for the gaffe. Now, I had a staff party last night. I had a staff party last night, and I've popped 3 paracetamol this morning, so I'm going to watch what I say for it.
You're going to come out with some racist remarks?
Well, I hope not.
It's truly astonishing that they think they can get away with it. And Dario, you and I were talking before we went on air about, you know, what happens when parties like UKIP and to some extent the Tea Party get more and more airtime. They basically hoist themselves on their own petard. It's truly astonishing that they seem to think as if all those microphones and cameras that are pointing at them are not on and or recording every word that they say for playback later.
Yeah, and they scream a kind of, you know, conspiracy against them when people are actually investigating their policies for a start, which they haven't really got any policies beyond the sort of anti-immigration, anti-EU line. Well, they keep changing policies after they've written them on the back of a fag packet, I think. But at the moment, I mean, me and you, we always have this back and forth, Dennis, about how much they're going to influence the next general election. I mean, I think that's a key question going forward. They definitely got the other major parties worried, and at the moment they are the Teflon party. So no matter what they seem to say, no matter what the gaffes seem to be, they seem to be able to ride that out, and it doesn't affect their popularity.
It makes me laugh, actually. I mean, it's like the mask is slipping, and the stuff they come out with is unbelievable, really. You know, I mean, this stuff from Kerry Smith is extraordinary, you know, but it's as though, you know, the mask is slipping and you are seeing them for what they are, and you almost sort of see a guy in the background saying, no, you're not meant to say things like that, you know, you're a grown-up politician now.
It's almost as if you know, sometimes every so often something will come out in a post, and what my standard joke is, oh, did I actually say that out loud? I thought I was just thinking about it. And,
that should be on the UKIP manifesto, shouldn't it? Did I say this out loud?
Is this playing to this? Is this why they're successful, though? Because as you said before, when we were talking about Dick Cheney and we were talking about the way politicians answer questions or deflect questions, don't answer them, are these gaffes actually playing to a sort of sense of authenticity in the electorate's mind, and it's thinking, well, these guys are just saying what they feel, and that's a hell of a lot different to the professional politicians that we're used to hearing.
Yeah, there is a bit of that, but I mean, you know, I question this issue of success. And okay, their poll rate, you know, they won a couple of by-elections, their poll ratings are high, but come the general election, I think, you know, you aren't going to see them at 19% or whatever. You know, people will be more sensible than that, won't they?
I hope so.
Note the silence that followed that question. I think that's kind of important. People will do what's sensible if they show up to vote. I mean, we had, 62% of the people in the midterm US election not bothered to vote, so yeah. Crazy times. We seem to have some problems with the Welsh Green Party there, Mr. Parry.
The leader there, Pippa Bartolotti, who's been re-elected for the 4th year, but she's quite a controversial figure on the green movement. We had the NATO summit here in South Wales a few months ago in Newport, and the protests that were organised were condemned by other green and pacifist people, such as the MP for Newport West, Paul Flynn, who said it was incoherent and nobody turned up, basically. You know, and I'm hearing a lot on the ground in relation to unhappiness within the Green Party. There's a lot within you know, both on left and right, it seems to be that they're on kind of unravelling now, you know, in relation to splits. And it's almost a sort of professionalism, you know. We heard about the editor of the Green Party newsletter being suspended. He's under investigation as well. I mean, if this was a Labour or Tory party, it would be all over the Daily Mail, you know. I mean, sort of, you know, a party newsletter editor being suspended, extraordinary.
I mean, it's interesting that the Greens and I was reading that the Greens, the SNP and Plaid Cymru are talking about forming an anti-austerity coalition for the next general election, which that will give voters something different to vote for and to think about, I think.
Absolutely, and it'd be very interesting if they could, you know, get the Lib Dems in as well, but I don't think anybody wants to touch them with a barge pole right now.
Toxic.
But if you could really get that coalition to come together, it could be very, very interesting.